Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking about the Deform module. This applies a kind of distorted, bendy, warpy type effect to your video. So I've loaded up this image into my player. This is just something that I generated using Midjourney, and I've already connected the module and switched it on, but nothing is happening here because this Deform dial is switched right down. So this dial basically controls the intensity of the effect. So if I start to turn it up, you can start to see that the effect is becoming more intense. And as I turn it down, it's becoming more subtle. And once it's turned right down, the effect isn't applied at all. So this is kind of your master level in terms of the Deform effect. And then above it, we've got this speed control. So when the speed control is turned right down, the image is static. But if I start to turn it up, we're going to start to see some movement applied to it. And obviously, the higher up we turn the speed, the faster the movement gets. Here, we've got a density dial. You can think of this overall Deform effect as a series of distortions or warps that are being applied to the visual. What the density setting does is control how tightly or loosely these are packed together. So when you increase the density, you're bringing the deformities closer, which makes the effect more concentrated and intense, like so. Whereas when you bring it down, it spreads out those deformities, which creates a more subtle and dispersed effect. So it's basically adjusting the thickness of the deformity layer. So higher density for a denser, more pronounced effect, lower density for a lighter, more spaced out appearance. And here we've got a direction setting, so you can alternate that between left and right. Over here we've got these 5 wave modes. These basically control the pattern or behaviour of the Deform effect. So you can think of them as being different styles or modes for how the waves will interact with your footage. So some of them have a more smooth, continuous wave, which creates a subtle and flowing effect. Others have a more chaotic or abrupt wave pattern, which results in a more dynamic and unpredictable type of distortion. You can just go through these and kind of see which one most suits what you're looking for. So we've got warp, sine, distort, wobble, and flag. And at the bottom here, we've got our usual transparency settings. And then we've got these blend modes. So you can play about with blending the effect with your original visual. And then this T button, this will turn the effect into a texture map on top of the original image. Most of the settings here have these beat controls, so we can see speed, deform, density, and the direction all have a beat control, and the speed, density, and deform dials all have sound reactivity as well. So let's just take a look at what that looks like. I'm gonna have the density respond to the lows, and we'll have the deform setting responds to the highs. And I'll turn this beat control on for the direction. So we can just have a look at what that looks like. There's just a little example of how you can apply sound reactivity to some of those settings. And that's everything related to the Deform module. If you found this video useful and you'd like to learn more about ZwoBot, you can check out my ZwoBot playlist, and also subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more ZwoBot tutorials coming in the next few months.